Hi, I'm Bethany Conkle. I am the mother of Amalia Nathaniel Conkle, a neonatal donor. He was born in September of 2012 and passed shortly after birth. After he was born and after he passed, we donated his organs for research. When I was 11 weeks pregnant, I got the devastating news that my son had a condition called anencephaly. This condition is 100% fatal, and we decided to continue our pregnancy and carry to term to make the most of our son's life. Not only did we want to make the most of his life, but we want to make the most of his death. My husband had been working in an undergraduate anatomy lab and had seen the positive impact that a body could do for research, or where a whole body donor could benefit and educate others. We decided that we wanted our son to have an impact like these donors had had on my husband, and so we started pursuing options for donation. We didn't realize how difficult it was going to be as we went through this journey. We literally contacted 8 different organizations looking for options for donation. And each time we looked at different places, we were told, unfortunately, we'd be unable to donate. We spent 6 months looking at different possibilities to try to find a placement for our son. We were hoping to do a whole body donation, and if that didn't work, we were hoping to be able to donate organs for transplant. During our journey, we found out that we were going to be unable to donate in the way we had hoped. After a long 6 months of researching possibilities, we were very excited to find out that we were going to be able to donate my son's liver and his pancreas and his whole body to 3 different research groups. For us, this brought an immense amount of joy and excitement and healing. After our son passed, we knew that his legacy was going to live on and that he was going to be able to impact others far beyond our reach. And that although he only lived for an hour and 20 minutes, he was going to be able to live forever through his gifts of donation, and his impact was going to be endless.
Hello, my name is Jeremy Brown, and I'm a regional director that covers the central and eastern part of the United States for the International Institute for the Advancement of Medicine, otherwise known as IIAM. Our researchers will describe it as uncharted waters. Never before had they had the opportunity to work with young, developing, immature tissue that they have received from the gifts of neonatal donation. And we're here to talk about neonatal donation and how neonatal donation has impacted the world of research. We have researchers that are looking and studying the heart, the lungs, the liver, the pancreas, the kidneys, skeletal muscles, and skin. We've seen a lot of advancements in discovery, specifically in type 1 diabetes with the pancreas. Our type 1 diabetic researchers have really begun to understand more about the beta insulin producing cells and how many we have as humans, and really looking to find ways to proliferate and regenerate and reactivate the beta cells within the pancreas.
Hi, my name is Eric Conkle. My son was diagnosed with anencephaly in 2012. My wife and I were devastated at that point. It took us a week to get our heads wrapped around what the truth was of what had been told to us. But after that, we decided we want to continue to keep our son and give him as much of a life as possible. And so we decided to do everything that we would have done after he'd been born. And we did those all while we still had him with us in utero. One of the things that was a driving force for us throughout the pregnancy was we wanted to participate in some form of donation. We later learned there were many kinds, but we really didn't care which one. We just wanted to donate. We wanted our son to make a difference in somebody else's life. So we spent 6 months researching options. This was kind of driven by my background at the time, working in an anatomy lab and seeing firsthand the benefit of somebody being willing to donate their body to future the education of medical professionals. And so we held tight to that and pursued options at universities, at hospitals, both in-state and out of state, and even had people, friends calling friends, trying to find options for us. That was how strong our desire was to do this donation.
Often people ask me what I would say to other mothers who are considering donation, And I would tell them that donation can bring a lot of healing. It can add an extra layer of meaning to your baby's life. It can give you a different way of looking at your healing journey, so you can have joy and excitement over your child's accomplishments. Even though your child can't be with you and you can't see them grow up, you can see how they're still impacting the world around you through donation. I would highly encourage any parent who's considering this option to look into it and take time to think about how this might impact not only them, but also the world around them, and how that they could add a lasting legacy to their child's brief life.
In our desire to participate with donation, at the time, my wife and I only thought of donation as a direct transplant from me to you, because that's what is so well known. That's what they ask you when you go get your driver's license. Do you want to be an organ donor? Those are the stories that make the local news. And while, yes, that was what was in our mind, we didn't really care. We just wanted our son to be able to donate.
I think one of the most important things that a healthcare provider can do is present all the options to a family considering donation. Take them by the hand and walk them through each thing that exists, and let them know what options they have so they can make an educated decision and do what's best for their family. When you withhold information or don't give all the options, you are making that choice for that donor family. You should never make a choice for this donor family. They want to pursue this option, and you need to help them through it, support them, and help them learn what is possible so they can do what's best for them. You don't know how it's going to help them in the future, how it's going to impact their journey of grief. You don't know how it's going to impact the world in the future. It's so important to be able to walk these families through and help them and educate them and encourage them and support them as they make this decision.
We eventually learned that there's organ for transplant, there's organ for research, tissue for transplant, and tissue for research, and there's the whole body. Truth be told, we didn't really care which one he did. So when my wife called me 3 days before our son was born and said, we have the option to donate liver, pancreas, and whole body, all for research, I said, that's fine. After our son dies, he's not going to need those things, so let's do it. And what that did for us as donor parents, knowing that our son's gifts went for research, initially it was going, okay, we wish he could have saved one person's life directly with a transplant gift. But as we got more and more removed from his donations and we thought about it, we both said, we're actually happier that his gifts went for research than for transplant, because his pancreas went for type 1 diabetes research, which affects far more people than his one pancreas could have helped with a transplant. His liver went for hepatitis C and cirrhosis research. Again, how many thousands and millions are affected with those medical conditions, versus his liver going to one person. And his whole body was used to train hundreds of nurses, EMTs, doctors, and other medical professionals on how to intubate and do interosseous vascular access on a neonate, just because their training models that they are given don't match up to anatomy once you see it, and it's very difficult to learn those things and rectify them in the field.
One of the things I've done since my son was create a 501c3 nonprofit called Purposeful Gift. We also have a website, www.purposefulgift.com, where families can come and learn about options for neonatal donation. We try to help educate other families and give them the options that exist so that they can make an educated decision to determine what is best for them as they pursue these options.
And so as we learned more from the researchers, our pride as parents continued to grow, and even continues to grow as we hear more and more and more. I'm not talking down to the direct transplant from one person to another, because you never know if that person that is saved from that transplant goes on to cure cancer. That is always the initial goal with a donation, is that transplant and save a life directly, but there has to be the science behind those transplants. The researchers need organs, the researchers need tissues to provide scientific basis for the efficacy and the safety of new and improved techniques. And that's where my son falls in to this process, and I'm so very proud that that is his legacy. He was 4 pounds 9 ounces. His foot was probably not as long as my finger, but his footprint is far bigger than mine on this world.
Since the donation, I've had the amazing, incredible opportunity to meet several of the researchers that worked with my son's gifts. We were able to meet 2 different researchers that have worked with his pancreas, and it was incredible to be able to speak with these women face to face and hear exactly how my son's gift made an impact and how his legacy is building and how he's able to save other babies through the knowledge and things that they are learning. I've also had the awesome opportunity to meet the researchers who worked with my son's whole body. We like to call it his internship, where he was gone for 8 months, and we were able to go and have a dinner with these people and hear stories firsthand about how my son has directly saved other children's lives through the knowledge that they've gained. It's been an incredible opportunity to speak with these people and to look in their eyes and know that my son has had an impact and that he really has truly saved lives and that he's a hero.